Hey YouTube, it's David with a brand new video for you all today. Now first of all, I just want to apologise if you can hear any sort of background noise. I have to open the window just now. It is absolutely roasting in my room and it makes it quite difficult to breathe. Anyway, today we're reviewing the 1987 horror movie Return to Horror High. Return to Horror High follows a film crew as they go to an abandoned high school to make a movie based on a series of murders that happened at that high school years earlier. Of course, being a horror movie, the cast and crew start to be offed one by one in increasingly creative and horrific ways. This movie is so much fun, guys. I enjoyed the whole movie, all 90 odd minutes, from beginning to end. It serves as a really good satire of the slasher genre at the time, talking about not just the genre but also the behind the scenes, talking about sleazy directors, sleazy producers wanting more tits, more blood, more violence, whereas the director wants to make a lot more of an art piece, a lot more of a thoughtful piece. Very much the story of the Halloween franchise, if you know anything about the behind the scenes. Very similar to that. This movie also has commentary on a lot of other things, the main one being the way women, especially in slashers of the 80s, are treated. How they're treated as sex objects and just there to scream. And I thought the movie handled it really well. It actually has one of the female characters who is one of the cast members of the movie that's being made within the movie we're watching actually address it directly and address the way her character is treated. And I thought that was a really interesting way to do it. It isn't overly preachy, it makes perfect sense for the plot, and I think it just works really well. And it's absolutely spot on as well, especially in the 80s, the way women are treated. And even now, but especially in 80s movies, just very suspect and very questionable. But don't think the movie is in any way preachy, it's not. This movie has a lot of fun with its subject matter, whilst simultaneously talking about blood and gore and it being overly forced. The movie also has a lot of blood and guts and gore in it. Whilst it's talking about nudity, it also has a bit of nudity in it. Stuff like that. It's very tongue-in-cheek, it knows exactly what it is, they know exactly what they're making with this movie, and what they're making is a pseudo-satire of the horror and specifically the slasher subgenre. Speaking of visuals, the effects are absolutely fantastic, some really creative kills in this movie. One with someone being hung upside down and a bladed weapon being involved, one with someone being pulled into a tar pit, and a lot of other really creative, well thought out, well shot deaths with some fantastic visual effects. I really like the music in this movie as well. It is very 80s and sets a perfect atmosphere for the horror mixed with tongue-in-cheek humour that this movie is going for, and I think it works really well. Time to address the elephant in the room, which as you guys have probably heard, this movie stars George Clooney. No, it doesn't. Now George Clooney is in the movie, he has about 10 minutes of screen time total, so he is definitely not the star of the movie. He has a character, he has lines, he's on screen, he is in this movie, but this movie is definitely not starring George Clooney. Overall, this is a really fun movie. If I was to put any sort of criticism towards the movie, I feel it probably does get a little bit sidetracked in the third act and does kind of delve more into horror cliche than the first two acts did, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's still really enjoyable the whole way through. If you do want to check out this movie and you live in the UK, at least you can actually check it out on Amazon Prime Video as part of your Prime subscription, and if you want to get it on Blu-ray you can pick it up from 88 Films. They have a fantastic release as part of their slasher collection. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, I haven't been feeling 100%, so I'm sorry if you can tell that in the video, but I still wanted to get a good review out for you guys to give you something to enjoy, because I know I've got a lot of loyal people, at least a handful of loyal people, who come back and watch every video. It means the world. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Helps me out so much. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below telling me what you thought of the movie. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Considering the movie has less than a 5 on IMDb for some weird reason, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me, but we shall see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.